Big news, the Fed announced their first rate cut in 4 years, and stocks hit a record high the next day, leading many to believe that the recession is over or any fears of a recession. But at the same time, many economists do not believe that's the case. We are in for a recession, or there are bad times ahead. In this video, I'm going to explain what's happening leading up to the Fed rate cut. If you're wondering what's going to happen the rest of 2024 going into 2025 when it comes to borrowing, making big purchases, what will your spending be like? Your ability to buy homes, cars, or anything else? Or if you want to borrow as a business owner, this video is for you. I'm going to explain what you need to know leading up to the rate cut decision a few days ago and what you can expect in the coming weeks and months. To understand why the rate cuts happened for the first time in 4 years, you need to understand the Fed's policy. Their main goal is to balance jobs and inflation. Here's how inflation looked post-2020, with prices going out of control, topping 6, 7, 8% before finally coming down within the last year. Every month, the Fed has been watching this to see if it can get back down to 2%. Before they do anything with the Fed rates, here's the Fed rates chart. Look at the near zero rates since 2020. The quick ramp up corresponding to this inflation spike here to try to bring this number back down closer to the 2% target. And at the same time, the Fed has been very patient because they didn't want to disrupt the jobs market. The jobs market has been cooling over the past several months, but it's not imploding. Unemployment eased slightly to 4.2% in August from 4.3% in July, a sign that joblessness has not started a relentless march upward, which is what people have been fearing. But hiring overall does continue to get weaker. More than 2 years into the Fed's campaign to slow the economy with higher interest rates, the job market is slowing down. That's something to be concerned about, because if you believe that we are going to completely avoid a recession, you may actually be wondering how we've avoided a recession so far, given all the economic challenges over the past few years. Well, since the pandemic, government spending has remained high, and many Americans were able to put savings away and keep this money in high yield savings accounts, 3%, 4%, 5%. And have been using a lot of these savings. That, coupled with the low unemployment rate, has allowed the U.S. to avoid a recession. Consumer spending, which is 70% of the economy, has remained high. In 2023, consumers spent 5% more from the COVID-19 downturn. As consumers spent, companies sold more. As companies sold more, additional workers were hired. This reinforcing cycle kept the economy going. That's where we are today, with inflation coming down and the jobs market slowing. The Fed deciding to make this cut, and the stock market looking like this the next day. Their S&P 500 rose 1.7% on Thursday, rallying a day after the interest rates cut. Another sign not good for the softening jobs market is more companies ending work from home. Amazon just announced a couple days ago they're calling all the white-collar workers back to the office, and I think other major companies are going to follow suit. In fact, a survey among CEOs said they predicted more and more companies in the coming months and heading into 2025 will enforce a return to office, leaving many folks in a bind, and this may lead to a decline in the workforce, people opting out, a way of self-selecting, if you will, who stays and who goes. Well, economist David Rosenberg says the Fed's big rate cut won't stop a recession. He's concerned about weaknesses in the housing, commercial, construction, and industrial sectors, likening this back to 2007, 2008. Although he had wrongly predicted that there would be a recession back in 2022, he's dismissed this idea of a soft landing. Rosenberg is sticking with it, thinking that the Fed is behind the ball. He says, the best thing I ever did was follow my instincts and judgment and not wave or throw the towel in. It feels very much to me the same today as in 2007. His belief, along with other economists, is that there is still so much weakness in so many parts of the economy. Look, whatever the case is, there's a lot going to be happening in the coming weeks and months as we watch the effect of this rate cut And the Fed, of course, plans for 2 or 3 additional cuts before the end of the year. As I mentioned in this video, this should have an immediate effect on interest rates on your bank accounts. What's the interest you're earning there? That will likely come down soon. Your stocks and borrowing interest rates as well, especially business loans and mortgages, as well as credit card rates. We expect those to change while keeping an eye on the rest of the economy to see if it holds up and the US can navigate a soft landing and avoid a recession. There's a lot happening here. If you want to stay in the know with all of this, just give this video a thumbs up. It really goes a long way. And consider subscribing with your alerts on. And if you're curious about financing, grants, loans for yourself or your business, go check out Skip either on the Skip app or at helloskip.com, the largest grants and funding marketplace for entrepreneurs and small business owners. There are even weekly $1,000 grants that are basically open to anyone. Let me know what you think in the comments. Most importantly, stay well, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next video.